You can see people who post videos or play like very shy way, are not convinced really of what they are doing. This is not good. You need to become convinced of what you are playing so that you can convince the audience. The audience will be convinced by you being convinced first. So if you are not convinced, you are not convincing one person. And you can see that the description of video sometimes when people go upload the video and they pick the guitar and say, well guys, I hope you like it, it's this thing. So this is not the way to go. You need to go with power with the thing. So these insecurities there are because most of the time there is technique deficiencies, and if you are deficient in technique, we have a problem, Houston. And this problem is that's why you feel inferior playing, and that's why you are displaying this way like shyness and this stuff, and not going with all the power. In the groups we create, it helps many things. Well, having a teacher is the step number one to kill that. Because when you follow someone who really knows what to do, then you also know what to do. And then now you become convinced, and then now you can convince others. That's why I followed Paco. Now I can tell you what is the thing, and people very successfully follows and plays great stuff. So you take that power from someone, and then you also become powerful that way. Now, this is one, and then the other is that also in the group dynamics, how we play 2 times a year. We do our workshops in Malaga for limited number of 5 or 6 persons on each group, and then there are group dynamic there. People play together, they trade phrases, play in improvisation, one plays, the other plays, they hear themselves, and then they learn to be also in a nice way playing with other musicians, because sometimes this stuff of the guitar makes you very solitary, right? You become solo, alone, playing in your room, and then that's not good. So I create these groups also with the intention to make people more sociable, let's say, right? Not bite each other when they meet, and also to share music, because actually music is to share. This is the narrative of the whole chain of great players from the last century now, and also about what happened in flamenco and in jazz and in other musical movements similar. Like the sharing thing, this is very important, but how you share your experience of music is not only putting a video of you playing alone. You have to share it really live with other musicians and know about this interaction. And that also makes you stronger. The essence is that different practices are there which may help you to become convinced of what you play. And when you play a thing and play this, like suppose I play, I will tell you one simple thing. Suppose the Aranjuez thing, and I go like this. Doesn't convince no one. Why? Because it's just don't you see, I'm contracted all the way. So this is different when someone goes. deliver the phrases, maybe played wrong or anything, but if you play with power, convinced of what you are doing, right? So this is statement, how you can play this. So you see, deliver the phrase with power. You cannot go, what is this? And then, of course, behind this thing there is lack of technique, many problems. But main thing is to follow a teacher well, which doesn't mean to follow it in do-it-yourself philosophy. That's not the way to follow. Many people say they follow me, actually, but they haven't studied any time with me. So that is not following a teacher, someone who you have not have any exchange personal, real, from that person to the other person, because knowledge gets transmitted that way. Of course, you learn from other people also, and now, for instance, you will see a video of Alan Holdsworth or of Paco or people who died, and what you do, you cannot associate with them anymore. So you have to watch the video only, right? But when those guys were alive there, then some people, fortunately, I did that thing to share stuff and ask them things, right? And learn from them live. So otherwise, the screen cannot replace. A screen is a screen, and the teacher is a teacher. So yeah, you can become also powerful and convinced of what you are playing by following the proper way and the proper method, and by having someone there who can guide you about. That's what we do in Skype exactly. This is exactly what we do to guide others for this purpose. And yeah, they get enormous power of interpretation power, interpretative power, and this everyone can develop.